Hey guys, it's Andre Hodge, Seven of Truth here. I am just releasing a recording I've done with Nickie Thetsy today on the 27th of February 2021. Haven't caught up with her a long while and just happened to reach out. She's been on the radar for a little while, so I just wanted to catch up and have a chat. And what I release here is basically a section of a 4 hour conversation. So I hope you get something from it. I hope you like it and keep holding your space, guys. Cheers.
Hey, I'm wearing my
Hello.
mask. Can you hear me?
Uh, do you need to drive or something?
No, I'm not. I'm not driving. So, yeah, I started this space blanket and it's awesome. Like, I love it so much. I made a sitting pad and I made a pad where you sleep on it and then I make it a blanket so I'm being sandwiched and I wake up and I feel amazing.
So,
So,
so, so you've
yeah.
activated the childhood blankie technology in people.
Exactly, exactly.
So there's wisdom. The children have wisdom once more, and we just take it away from them.
Yeah. So instead of we like sit and try to figure it out, and cultivate the energy, everything is being propulsion. Everything is being regenerated, recycled. You
Mm,
see, so if you use the complete package kit of the stuff I create, you're good to go. It's almost like you're in the cave.
yeah,
I create it as if it's a supplement from a cave. Because we're in the modern era, right? There is no cave. So I made it. I made a cave.
yeah,
It's a mobile cave. And you just put that around you, and oh my gosh, the energy feels amazing. Because when we're moving in 5D, we become more sensitive.
yeah,
And because of that, then when you wear the stuff, oh my gosh, it's really amazing.
yeah. I mean, I the way I see like moving into high frequency, you think it's you're escaping 3D and it's going to be better, but it's not the case because it's just faster the array of things that can be up there. Alright? So
Uh-huh.
it's not an escape. It's like 3D is a entry level, and that's like
Exactly. Yeah.
university.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's just the
Um,
vaster scale of things that you got to deal with. So if you
yeah.
haven't dealt with 3D, it just makes the like higher frequencies worse.
Yeah. I'm really proud of it. I really like what I created. It's curing me on a daily basis
Mm,
and I'm really happy with it. So, because it's really hard to find something that works, and
yeah.
our level, oh shit. I mean, we can't keep up with the healing. Are you kidding me? So we need every ounce of support we can get.
Hey, that's why
Every
I
ounce of
invented
it.
mine, alright? I use crystal pillows and stuff. It's like a crystal frequency cave. Basically, I worked out how to create a womb chakra, alright? Like
Uh-huh.
using technology like Lemurian scientists. So I
Yeah.
use frequency
So,
technology and crystals, and I create a sacred
yeah.
site that. So I don't. I can do it in the city grid, all right? And I
Yeah.
just like. So
Well,
I just
same
clear the
here.
earth.
I am doing it in the city grid. So, you have the crystals and I have the cave. The
Yeah.
cave makes it the womb. You see?
But I create like a crystal cave using pillows, all right? And
Using
like
what?
crystal pillows, amethyst and
Uh-huh.
tourmaline and jade crystal pillows, and then I've got a
Uh-huh.
chakra crystal mat that goes underneath the frequency technology. So it's basically
Uh-huh.
it's a multi-dimensional cave, crystal cave,
Mhm. Mhm.
and basically I put people in it and it just like unwinds all their crap that's put in them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
in
uh
my own way, I've done the same thing. All right,
yeah,
but
we
I
we
think
we're
yours is
doing
probably more
something.
efficient.
Mine is mobile.
Yeah,
You can take this and do it on an aircraft while you're
yeah.
flying.
I can't quite do that, but I take my stuff everywhere, and I said, it's interesting. What happens to me if I set up my stuff in someone's place and I haven't dealt with them?
Mhm.
I'm like in a sauna dripping with sweat because I've got unseen forces battling trying to mess me up, and the ancestors are wanting it. So I'm taking my sacred site mobile and clearing the earth in the region, and it's a battleground when I set it up.
Yeah. Um, I hope you finally figure that out of having no entity of like, occupying your space. So for me, all the years I've done work,
Mm,
there I never have that happen because
yeah.
I'm very strong-willed in that, you know. I mean, the last time they tried to hijack me, I went after their whole mothership and I blew the shit every one of them. So you think they come back and find me
Well,
after
the
that?
well, the way I
I don't
work,
think so.
right? It's I'm a bit of a trap, all right, a bit like you. So if I get hit, all right, and I don't really get hit that often, too much. Now and again, very subtly. I said like my body got hacked, and it was very interesting and stuff, and it's a once off. It's a one hit, and you'll
Mhm.
never get it again. But what I do is, like I said, how the way I sort of see a version of karma. I'm not going to say it's the absolute, but it's an asset in our DNA. So if we get
Mhm.
hit, all right, then you sure you want to hit me? You sure you want to hit me? Because I'm going to get rid of all of your infrastructure throughout the universe if you do that. All right.
You'll
So
be surprised that some of them they don't even when you say that they don't even know what the consequences even
I
look
know,
like.
I know.
And
All right.
then it forces you to go ahead and nuke them, you know,
Yeah,
and that's what happened. The
but
ultimatum.
I give them an option: disarm, go to the central sun for recyclement, or go to another universe. All right, and undo all the damage that you've done throughout time to anyone. All right. So I know what you mean. They just don't. They don't have the intelligence to understand the consequence.
No, it's not the intelligence. It's because they never lived on Earth before. They don't have
Mm,
the Earthling experience.
mm,
That's why they're crashing Earth because Earth gave them a lot of opportunity. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then so they don't know what it means. It's like saying I love you, but if you never experience love, how the hell do you even know what that means?
it's hollow.
So
It's hollow. Yep.
yeah, it's empty. So when you negotiate with them, they don't know. So most of the time, 3 times I ask, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And I just blew the hell out of them. So that's considered compassionate from my view. You, you're still negotiating on that level. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
just.
I don't have the tolerance. I'm just like, fuck off.
But the
And I
way
blow
I
them
see
up.
it, right? As much as we think we're only 3D or 5D or whatever, we're the apex of the universe, right? And
Mm-hmm.
unless we actually accept that, what we've been through and what we know is actually masterclass in universal experience. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not an ego thing, but it's enforcing our authority.
Mm-hmm.
Authority is a good word, right? Because we do have authority with our DNA and being on Earth and stuff in the
Mm-hmm.
universe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exactly what you're saying metaphorically about not having the experience here. They don't know, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to explain that in a quick term, but I get it. It's you've got to hold an attitude that you are the best of the best in the universe and you're here on Earth. And being on Earth means you have absolute authority in the universe, but you have to have the responsibility of what that means. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm
And the
sort of
only
saying it's like, do
time
you want it? I give them an
anybody,
option.
well, you still give them option. I don't.
I
I
know.
just like fuck off and then I blow them up. Oh, like
Yeah.
I said, you're still nicer than I am. You know
But
what?
but I but I get it. The
I'm
way
saying
just
all
let
of this is because I'm tired.
I know.
I'm tired. Okay? I work for free. I don't have a place to live. Who's
Yeah.
defending me?
Yeah.
So I say fuck off until humanity they themselves start owning their responsibility, then I
Yeah.
will respect that. If they're
Yeah.
not respecting, their own boundaries, and then say, let me go and do my work. Don't get in my way. And that's how I
Yeah.
see it now. And
Yeah.
that's before too. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I suffered through a lot, and
Yeah.
that's why I don't negotiate shit like that anymore. When I show up, shit happens. That's how I ruled it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because humanity have failed. Every time I do the test, they have to take a test and then it being evaluated, right?
Yeah.
And they
Percent.
fail every time. And because they keep failing like this, so I say, I'll just
That's
override it and I'll just do the work.
I call
Done.
that rite of passage tests, all right? I set them up for lots of people and they just do service to self right at the wrong time, you know? You do
Yeah.
exactly the wrong thing in the test and you fuck over the people around you.
Mhm.
You claim stuff and all that. And look, that's why I released the Galactic Special. I call them Galactic Special Forces recordings, all right? Because we absolutely kick
Yeah.
butt in the universe level, and we're the best of the best.
Yeah.
Special forces, all right?
Hey, did
Incarnation
you know Max died at a hospital, right? They killed him. That's what I was
2019.
told.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know about it.
I told you. You didn't know. Nicole,
Mm.
his wife. I
His
actually
wife, yeah.
I introduced them together. All right. I'm like
Yeah, you
galactic.
did.
I'm a galactic cupid. But she reached out and she was really devastated and stuff. So yeah, it was. I. It's disappointing, you know. So that was a couple of
Well,
years ago.
that was anticipated because he was still active with
He
them.
was. He was. Yeah, he was crossing the line, sort of thing. You know.
Yeah, he was. I mean, when you do this work, it's very tediously sensitive to
Yeah.
easily cross the boundaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's where I
So,
just let me say this, all right? Like you know how I said I was giving him a chance and stuff. I
uh-huh.
actually I actually hold the space, and that's why I'm not fearful of saying all this stuff because at the end of the day, I feel like we're going to be the ones that everyone relies on to put it all back together. All right, they're all going to fuck it all up, and we're going to be the ones that everyone rely on. All right, and I'm not angry or anything like that. I'm like you. I'm just tired. All right, and I think it's
Yeah.
just soul fatigue for trying to get to this point, and everyone's just butterfingers, fumbling catches. It's like a layup in basketball, and you just can't get it in the ring. Do the right thing, you know,
Yeah.
not the right thing by you, and
Mhm.
everything was so fragile. Any
Mhm.
little stuff up and doing violative stuff just puts us all behind, you know.
Yeah.
My attitude now with what's happened is the reality is going to be put back together, all right? And we're going to have to wait 10 years until there's another opportunity to this at least, all right?
Yeah.
So I've just gone like you, I've gone reactive and passive and just holding me together as best I can. All right. And the
Mhm.
people that seek me out, I'll fucking kick ass with them. All right. But I'm not gonna. No, no. I'm gonna put them back together in a way they didn't even know
No,
they
no,
could be.
no. I'm just laughing because I remember how like when we start off talking, you and I, we're like very sweet and compassionate about everything. We're very patient. And then I start off detouring and I start cussing and cursing everything, probably irritated you. And then now to hear you're like where I was at, you're like cussing and cursing multiple times. It's just funny because
Yeah.
that tells you that we're not enlightened, but we're more wise. That's what it means. You know what I mean? Because we went through the shit. We know what's right, and we're trying to stay on the righteous path, and we're working our ass off, suffering while the
People do
others
the
are
wrong
just,
things around us and
yeah,
buff it all up because they don't even know that they're being observed and tested. And they're getting
yeah,
away with it.
yeah. They're
It's no time for
shitholes.
spirit. No time for spiritual mediocrity. We're on Earth, all right. Honor your
Yeah.
incarnation contracts.
Yep. So,
So yeah, I've
what,
retreated and I've gone hardcore into me, and I'm just holding my space. And like
mm,
say doing the missions, it's very physically demanding. Like I said, I'm
mhm.
45. Body is just got to do a lot to keep it on top of its game to be able to lifting 60 kilos of crystals down a steep hill,
Yeah.
100, 200 pounds of crystals down a steep hill and carrying them miles and miles. It's
Uh-huh.
brutal. It takes you days and weeks to
Yeah.
recover.
Yeah.
I I don't like holding back as well. All right. So that's where I've
Mhm.
just gone on my own and doing my own recordings. All right. Because I've
Mhm.
got a lot of stuff that I've learnt that I know is the gap. All right. And I've had one awesome client is telling me I'm the missing link, Andre. You got to get the fuck out there. And man, I hate it when bloody people kick me up the ass like that. But yeah, it
Mhm.
actually felt really good with not anyone around sharing my perspectives, you know. So I'm going to keep doing that. But I will share this recording, all right, on my YouTube
Mhm.
and stuff. So I've deliberately not caught up with you because I've kept you out of stuff I've been involved in, and it's just I think all of that happened because we actually need to get back on to what we got to do, you know. So I'm here to train up Galactic Special Forces level beings, and I've been doing that. I've been investing a lot into really amazing people.
Well, wait till I move to where I'm supposed to be. That's another high level of work that's coming.
You're
Okay.
creating a new Shangri-La up there.
Yeah. It's gonna be like blasting off from this planet. So it's gonna be very special and you know, so building it is gonna be a FedEx and but that's why I need your help. I need to I need help with you know advertisement for the to sell the blankets or because I know the dragon products people are not ready, but at least the blankets will help them,
And just see what
to generate their
happens.
core. So or at least have them like enroll in the class or something because I need to get this facility
How
going.
can people
And
get
by
to
the
you? How
way,
can people get to you?
just my website. I'll send you the link. And the
Just
other
say
thing
it,
is
say it, say it.
superheroprotocol.com.
Yeah,
Yeah, superheroprotocol.com, and I use Square dot site because I'm using Square
yeah,
like
yeah,
PayPal. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm using their site. It's free. You could do that too. The only time that they charge you it was when somebody buys something and they charge you for it. Otherwise, it's free.
Yeah,
It works out for people like us, because we're
yeah.
not like making a
I
lot
think
of
they
money.
charge. I think they charge 2%,
They
but I know what you mean.
charge me same amount as PayPal.
Yeah,
So it's just convenient to use it because I'm cutting down all the costs because why do I need all the costs when I'm not selling in large quantity? It's only for like certain chosen people.
it's cool.
So anyway, when this happened, I know that eventually all the people that were in my circle have to come and be reunited together at this position.
Yeah.
You understand? Because I need to make this happen. And if it doesn't happen because of this, then I'm going to leave the country. If it doesn't work out.
You
Okay,
know
because
what? You know
it's
what?
a headache for me, Andre. I
No, no,
rather
but
move
listen,
to a
listen, all
different
right?
country.
You know what? I'm just the pattern recognition skills, all right? Like the trend analysis and all that I do. That is sort of the last resort after doing everything, but maybe that's
Mm,
exactly what we needed to do at the start, right? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
you need to grow up on your own and work yourself out, you know? And I don't know. Me, I love healing. Exploring healing is the most amazing thing because you're in control of your fate, you know? You're seeking someone out to assist you, to take you to wherever the possibilities are, you know? And I've always loved healing. It's just fascinating. You know what I mean? Like the metaphor of paying $100,000 for a car or $1 million a house, not even think, you know, $5 for a coffee or, you know, $100 for a jacket or clothes and or a pair of shoes and but paying money for healing is just such a excruciating experience to justify. So
I
I just find humanity is just
Andre,
interesting.
this is not about, it's never about the money. We give them for free. They don't
I know,
even want it. Think about it. Come
I
on.
know.
We gave them free. They don't even want it.
Yeah.
Doesn't that tell you something? That humanity is not even humans? You know, majority people on
Well,
this planet is not even human. Majority of them are all hijack, hybrid, mixed robot, cyborg. They're not even real, authentic humans anymore. You know
but
that, right?
the
It's only
thing
mirror
is that
image.
this is how I handle it. You know, that attitude is how I've always sort of held, but I also shift it. I also shift it as in, you know, I'm not getting the results I hope for. So I adjust how I work, right? And then I use what people do because it's a bit like trying to invest in a stock, all right? Because you think logically about it, and there's a total illogicalness about the stock market and currency markets. So I I have the courage to see how I am wrong and it's not working. Do you understand?
Hmm.
Despite what I think about humanity and all that, I accept that there's shit I don't know that I need to understand, and that's where it was. Wow, I actually have to charge and it works. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
I don't I don't judge humanity how it is and all that. I know how you feel and stuff and all that, and I know you're not judging, you're just joking. But I use what goes on, and if it's not right, I recalibrate myself to try and find another way. I use it as a instrument, you know what I mean? To develop me further. Just because I have an idea it should be this way, I don't accept the outcome as right, you know? So, and I know you do the same thing. We're just having a chat between friends, you know?
Yeah,
So,
joking.
we're just like venting to each other, Galactic Special Forces, having a bitch about about
Like
10 years of
we're at
hard
a
shit gone on.
bar. No, this is like at a bar when we're having beer.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's definitely really nice to finally hear you for it's been a while, you know, because
Yeah.
you
I've had a lot of
abandoned
shit go on,
everyone.
alright?
But so you and your mom's situation, is it okay now or what?
Yeah, she's just, late 70s, so um I mean, she's coming to the end of her life, so it's her freedom, her free will. She can do whatever she wants in her life, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So if she
Yeah.
chooses what she does, but she also gets me now. All right, she actually comprehends on some level that we're doing such massive stuff. All right,
Hmm.
she's actually trying to protect me. All right,
Hmm.
because she's doing the best to comprehend it, and very few people can actually get what we do. You know what I mean? And the other
Hmm.
thing is that we trigger everyone around us, so it's just have to learn to throttle that back. But like I said, I've got infinite potential healing, and she's been very proactive and wanting to experience it. And she everyone doesn't understand how she looks early 60s. Well,
Yeah.
I give her my nutrition regime, and I heal her a lot. You know what I mean? That's and the other thing, I don't listen to what culture says about foods and stuff. I eat all high cholesterol, high fat, alright? And it's what they tell you not to eat is exactly what you need to be super psychic, right? That's the
Hmm.
system telling you what it's fearful of. It's not what you should do, alright? They create all these, like um, statins for cholesterol and all that shit, to limit it. When the older you get, you actually need more of it, you know.
Yeah.
So I I I see what we're told to do, and I do exactly the opposite because I see it as individuals for the system are, you know, using the
Hmm.
narrative sort of technology to influence us on what we should do that benefits the system, and I just do the opposite. Okay, you don't
Yeah.
think cholesterol is bad, think fat's bad. Malnutrition is what's the issue with humanity. You know,
Hmm.
it's not
Hmm.
fat and negative foods. It's just the foods don't have the nutrition in it. That's the key.
Exactly.
But that's the 3D level. If you eat organic, it has life force content, all right? And that's where you need to operate with your high frequency stuff. And there's different layers, right? I feel nutrition is very vital for the physical DNA on the 3D level, but you get life force content in food like organic. It helps on that level as well, and helps repair the body and maintain it. So yeah, she's good. She's just, it is what it is, and
So what
humanity.
about your brother?
Um,
I know he's got it bad with the restaurant and being angry at the workers and stuff.
he being a chef is very physically demanding.
Mhm.
So yeah, his ex-wife was absolutely disgusting, and she was an orphan, and she was epileptic, and I actually cleared the demon from her in 2016. That was epilepsy, that was distorting my whole family. But then she just did really negative stuff and took took the niece away and stuff like that. So um, it's a bit the same thing that happened to our father happened to him. So it's a bit ancestral, sort of karma resolution. So but he actually had a holiday for the first time in January, and that switched him. So he got a reset from going away. So what a lot of people can do, they can get into a rut and they don't give themselves a break, and they just push through the circumstance they're in, and they don't take a step back. And he was like that because of many things. So he actually took that step back, got a evaluation from a different perspective, and then has come back really good. So he's been into my healing and nutrition and stuff. So I've done a lot, but I also, I'm the ultimate respect I have is for an individual's free will. So even just because I know my stuff doesn't mean I can push it on to people as well, you know? And
Mhm.
you've got that responsibility as well. You have to actually let people go the wrong path from your perspective, because there's purpose to that potentially. There's lessons that they need to experience. And so I I trigger my family because, especially when we're doing the galactic stuff, it's high frequency. And when I had that girl that I mentioned, it was 3 months
Mhm.
of very high level work, and I had to go to ground and turn off phones and stuff like that to not let anyone in. And
Mhm.
that's the level of responsibility I had, but it triggers people as well. So I don't want to deal with the unresolved in people, you know? So
Mhm.
I know I trigger that, and it's very tough. I guess I've learnt to throttle that energy back, after a
Mhm.
lot of experience. So you don't impose your energy field on another because if you're emanating a high frequency. So, but yeah, my family gets me a bit more, and um, obviously very few people comprehend it all because we're just automatic. But I, it's sort of I'm allowed my space to do my thing, if you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
then they just try and fit in with it. So yeah, it's very humble existence. It's good. There's a balance going on, and with all the shit that's gone on the last 12 months, more
Mm.
people are seeing through the reality on some respects, like things they don't really like,
Mhm.
sort of forcing them to see things differently, if you know what I mean. So,
Mhm.
so I think that on a on a subconscious level, and most of humanity is sort of, the non-adding up is starting to have more weight than accepting
Mhm.
things. So
Mhm.
the metaphor I see with my family is that they're sort of more open to the sort of stuff we're into, if you know what I mean. So that's why I'm sort of
Mm.
explaining it that way, because I feel a lot of people don't feel comfortable about discussing it, but
Mhm.
subconsciously they're questioning things because the whole, and this is the narrative working on people, the whole labeling people anti-vaxxers or conspiracy people, anyone that questions reality, that's having a lot of effect still. People don't want to be ridiculed and shamed, and they don't want to be labeled and stuff, but a lot of people are just prepared not to agree than acquiescing into agreement with others. So I sort of feel that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you're
Um,
feeling over there, with your family and that.
I think we're all taking a toll. Uh, for me, my timeline was I was supposed to move out the end of this last year, and that was the clock ticking, and I
Mm,
was supposed to get out. And I know this. If I don't get out, shit happens. Okay, and that's usually what happens. So I'm dancing around right now to ensure that someone in my family is not gonna die. So I have to find different places to live,
wow.
so then they don't die because it's not my time to die yet. Because if we ever being confronted, they will die before me,
Yeah.
and the upstairs will make sure of it. So so I knew that that's why I'm trying to resolve the situation, having to go to the location where they're sending me. And
Yeah.
it's, again, it's very, very powerful site, extremely powerful site. And I bought the damn place, and since then I have a lot of people trying to want to buy my property, and they send me letters, from the real estate company, whatever. And I did a counter offer, $1 million. It's my middle finger flipping at them. That's what it means.
Yeah.
They were like offering me $1,000, $2,000, and I counter offer $1 million. Basically, I just told them. So that's what I did, and so yeah,
You just got
I
things in the works, basically.
my family got attacked that came from UK. They entered my premises because one of the member of the family opened up the demon portal by using the Ouija board, and I didn't know about this,
Okay.
and the individual did it before, our family got together and lived under the same roof.
Mm,
So, and I was just being informed recently. So basically, the damn demon is locked inside my bubble, and it got activated and went crazy when the attack came 2 months ago, and I could see it. I could see that entity, and it's creating problems in the family. And but you know how we are. We the highest spiritual people are always the quietest. It's the one that people always picked on the most because
yeah.
we know better, and that's why we don't fight. We don't fight back because it's our family. We love them, and they're not our enemy because our enemy is outside our, bubble. So,
But they get
um,
turned against us and attack
I know,
us
I
and try and
know.
destroy us.
It's like, come on, Andre, you and I, we know this whole narrative. We know this narrative game. It's always the same, right? They're always trying to shit. So, and we know better. And instead of fighting, I just dance around it.
Yeah.
That's what I do now. I'm like, I don't want to deal with it. So,
So are
the
you
fact,
able to clear it or you're not because of someone else's contract or something?
it's somebody else's contract. I
So you
don't want
can't
to get.
actually violate, yeah.
No, 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 I can, and they will get pissed off if I violate it. And the next thing is, do I really want to do this work? Not really. So I'll just dance around it until I move to my location where I'm supposed to be, and then I will do the work, clear everything. They'll all be pissed off, but at least they'll be pissed off at me while I'm far away,
Yeah.
you know? Not where
Yeah.
my room is next door to them, where I can
Yeah.
feel their anger. I don't need that shit, right?
Yeah.
Wait
The
till I
one that
move
the one that was
away.
in my the one that was messing with my sister-in-law, I was having to walk 5 or 10 kilometers a day on top of working in the kitchen, and it would attack me from
Yeah,
behind and project
yeah,
into me negative, and then attack my legs.
yep.
to cut my energy and meridians in my legs and just really mess me up physically. So
Yep, I hear you. So, yeah,
so yeah,
so
just when you want to let your guard down, you've got this crap going on in your home.
yeah. It did attack, um, my mother's husband, my mom's husband. Um, he got COVID. He was hospitalized for two months. He came down with, what was it, like a stroke,
Mm,
some other health issues, but he's a fighter like crazy. He's alive and he's back.
mm,
He's back. And they didn't send him back right away because he couldn't take the oxygen, so they have to oxygenated him. But
mm.
he's back. And the funny thing is he's supposed to die, right? And he came into my meditation conscience, and I said, no, you can't die yet. I don't You can't die yet, and you can't go yet. But he was ready to go. And I said, no, you're not going. And I gave him a new contract. And I know that he always talk about not wanting to die in the hospital. He wants to die at the house. So
Yeah,
I
it's
said,
a
well,
big thing for Asians, isn't it, as well, you know?
well, he's a Marine, ex-Marine, right? And
Mm.
a hospital is a soul
Are you there?
for there.
Are you there?
And I
You just went.
No, I said the hospital is like a soul reaping place, so you don't want
Yeah.
to ever go there. So I told him, you need to get well, get back to the house, and if you decide to go, you can go. And I gave him that contract. My mother alone, this last year, during this COVID, 3 times her soul trying to leave the body. I pull her back. So my mother almost basically dead 3 times.
Mm.
I pull her back. I pull her soul back 3 times already. Okay?
Yeah.
So I could see that the pattern that they're going here. So if my mother's gone, he's probably going to be gone within months of each other. Okay? And I gave my mother a new contract. And that's why today she's all pissed at me for everything, because she wanted to leave. And I told her, before you can leave, you need to renegotiate of what happiness for you. Achieve your goal. After that, then you can leave. You can't leave this damn planet angry. I told her. She's pissed off because you know, I'm the karmic contract holder here. She's pissed because she didn't get what she wanted. Okay.
I think
So,
a lot of people feel like care and they want to leave. All right, they're pissed
I
off and they.
know, but escaping ain't gonna solve it because they have to come back and repeat this shit,
Yeah,
you know? So
it's not
trust
like a
me.
get out of jail
So
card.
I the space blanket that I told you I made, I let her use it. She's loving it because she has 3 back spinal surgery. Imagine the pain
Wow.
she's living with.
Yeah.
Okay, so this pad I used, that I gave her, that I made, the space blanket that I wanted to promote. She said she's waking up not having physical pain. That's like a dream come
Massive.
true to hear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because she has sciatica, to the point where her foot is getting numb, no circulation. She can't walk. She's on cane and crutches.
Would she
Okay.
is she open to having healings from other people?
She is, but it's not successful by anybody, even the
Hey,
famous people.
I might just hang up a
Not.
sec and can you hear me? I might just hang up a sec and call you back. All right.
Okay, bye. Hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear
Sorry
me?
about that. My internet was running very, very slow and you were crackling out. I had to just shut my browser down and start it up, and all that time took me to get it back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, is it fixed now?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
How are you going?
I just brushed my teeth.
You're gonna sleep in your car?
Yep. Anything to avoid somebody physically dying. So
Mm.
it's okay. At least I'm not out in the street. I have my nice car. I have all my space blanket. I have my water, and you know, I'm still
So,
very grateful. I'm still very grateful. I'm very thankful. I still feel very blessed, and you know, I whatever happens, I just hope that my mother will get her wish, fulfill her contract, so then she can move on to, whatever dimension she needs to, because I think she's working her ass off now that I look at it and not being selfish about it, like being, oh, you're being kicked out, you're being, none of that shit. Just let her do what she needs to do. I get out of her way, and then when it's time for her to leave, she can leave.
mm,
Okay. And the me, the feeling, neglect, outcast, all of that shit it shouldn't be my story. It's not my story, and I'm not going to create this drama, and I should just be very, very grateful for it and release it, let it go, you know, because
but
I, do-
but
I
being
don't,
forced to live outside to prevent death sucks, alright? That's shit.
um,
It's crap circumstance to be in, alright? So sorry that you have to do that.
yeah. Well, this is beyond that, Andre. This is where they're they're ready to hurt me, and I don't want to confront it, because if I confront it, they will die.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm
So
talking about real physical shit here.
so it's
So
rock.
to
It's a
save
rock and a hard
them,
place. We
to
call it a
save
rock and a hard
them,
place.
I don't know what's it called, but to save them, okay, I just have to take a bow out
Yeah.
gracefully and
Concede.
let them concede. Is that what you call it? Sure.
Well,
And then let them
I actually
be.
talked about, I did this video, right? And I said, um, back in 2014, before we got into the Galactic Special Forces stuff, which I call it, like
you
those
know,
recordings I talked about, I um, I talked about how I created what I call my principles of existence. Back 2014 when I was writing those books after I met Max, alright?
Mhm.
And I created 54 principles of existence that I operate from because what I did back in 2013, there was a lot of people into sovereignty movement and all that legal crap, right? And I just
Mm.
thought that was just a waste of time because they'll just change the game to suit them. It doesn't matter what you learn and how good you are, all right? If you try and get outside the system, it's never going to work. They'll come down hard on you. So my attitude was, okay, I'm going to make it so tough on me. I'm going to raise my bar so high. It doesn't matter what laws are imposed. They'll just be like speed bumps, all right? So
Speed bump.
yeah, well, they keep changing and changing the rules and stuff, and it's like, well, they're always going to change the rules. You have to be prepared for it. So how do you prepare? You make yourself as tough as you can, all right?
Yeah.
So the very first principle I had is how am I wrong in this moment, all right? And the metaphor I used in that talk was, martial art experts, Bruce Lee and that, or whoever, they would get into a fight and the baddie would egg them on to get violent, all right? But the good guy would always concede and walk away to not use his talents in a
Yeah.
egotistic sort of self-serving way, right? They wouldn't
Mhm.
play that game. They'd walk away. So that's why I say you conceded, because you know the outcome of your actions on that path, and it's not maybe you'll get consequences that are worse by acting. You can sense it on the other side, so you know to walk away and live in hardship to prevent that, which is very noble, right? And most of humanity wouldn't get it because they're after convenience and they don't give a shit about their consequence on others, because it's all
Or
about,
how about privilege?
yeah,
Privilege. Like, this is my place. I paid for it, you know? And that's what they do. Privilege. And I say, it's like, no, it's okay. So I just told them, and I'm just going to go quietly, and they can be their own little happy, merry way. And until, whatever needs to be done, when the energy is like calmed down, and maybe things will get better. And I know, honestly, things will get better.
mm,
I'm just not going to have anyone dying at the moment.
yeah, life
Yeah.
is precious. So
Um, I don't think life is precious. I just have a purpose and a duty to be in compliance with. And I'm going to maximize every minute that I have while I'm here to
yeah,
do my best and
yeah,
to complete my mission,
yeah,
okay? And whatever that means. And I'm not going to allow, whatever the arguments that they're gonna create it, you know what I mean, for an excuse. I'm not gonna let that get in the way,
yeah,
and break away my family, you know, and that's number one. They're not gonna break my family apart. And I just need to stand down, and I know better, and I should just, you know, but
that's why you got to watch Michael Jordan's The Last Dance, all right? Because that's basically what you're living by, the highest level of integrity and stuff.
you think that's highest level?
Nah, I mean, not serving yourself and choosing the path of hardship, fully aware of it, is it's nobility. It's, so
Yeah, but the hardship is shit. It's
I
very
know.
hard. And being a woman, it's even harder, and you know it.
Yeah,
It's very hard. I'm not gonna lie, Andre. It's very, very hard.
yeah,
Okay? And to feel like your family outcast you, it's horrible feeling,
yeah.
you know? But I have to be strong, and I just have to be strong.
Well, the way I hold myself is I know how precious and important I am, and it's not an ego thing. It's a
No, not at
privilege to
all.
it's a privilege to actually, know me and do what I do. Like if I'm focused on someone, I'm 1,000% focused on them, but for them to achieve their potential. And
Mhm.
not many people get that. And like I'm fully committed to what I do because I've lost sort of everything like you, and we've got nothing really holding us back, even though my life isn't as hard as yours, especially with the shit you have to do. But they don't get it. But the way I operate is I know in a long time from now, when people can tune in to their past, they'll know then, right? The majority of people around us are not going to even comprehend what's going on. But in their ancient millions of years from now, tuning back in, um, they'll be sorry for what they do, you know?
Yeah. I want the consequences now.
So I just hold that. The reality is very, very, very. We're so on top of our game in advance. Very few are even going to comprehend what we do. So, unfortunately, we're going to get the maximum resistance to what we want to do as well, you know? Because Earth is tough and people don't get it, you know? So it's actually not an expectation, but the norm that you're going to get your allies totally undermining you. You know, their whole purpose here is to support you, and you're protecting them, and then they get compromised, and then they're trying to destroy you. That's the norm of what goes on.
Yeah, yeah, and you're right, and they are supposed to, but then again, who's supposed to what? There's a lot of supposed going on, right?
Yeah.
But do people are doing any of that?
I I
Supposed?
see I see humanity are just going to be there was sort of a feel that things are bad, so things will change, but things are going to get locked in so much more tighter how it was after all this is resolved. Because I saw in November, I said to my mate that's into stock markets, I said, mate, it's time to invest in stocks because they're going to put the reality back together and it's going to be boom time again. And everyone's, all the people, like, there's so much money being seeded into people's bank accounts around the world that as soon as there's a glimpse of normality, people will just go back to the way it was because they're all mourning how their life was before, all
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
they'll be giving away their sovereignty, taking the vaccinations and stuff just to have normal existence again. Any chance of that, majority of humanity are going to go back to it because they don't really want change. They say they want change, but they want other people to change and they don't want their life to be blissful and abundance, you know? To
Actually,
have,
I do need to talk to you about that in another time,
all right,
okay? Because we're moving into an AI and it's a big problem because I saw the vision of it already.
yeah,
Okay, so this whole investment, actually, you shouldn't invest in it. Even though there's money to be made, that's true. But you're supporting the AI grid. We're moving into a massive AI takeover, and
yeah.
they're going to kill off humanity. That's what I saw. Okay?
I get that you might see things, but I also know that it's interesting, all right? I'm being very careful what I say, all right? Because this is what I've seen, all right? This is the way I sort of perceive things. Is absolutely the most unexpected things are consistently happening, all right? Like when I used to trade currencies and all that, the consistent thing that happens is no one perceives what happens actually happens, but it seems so obvious in another way, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is some sort of pattern of unfoldment that if you have an expectation, it's probably going to be the polar opposite of that. All right. Like
I
the
don't
thing,
think so. The reason I know
I'm just
that,
saying,
because
I'm just saying,
I
I'm just,
know people that are working in the computer industry
yeah,
directly all the way to Microsoft.
yeah,
All these high-techy engineer people from Google to, you know what? I met every one of them. Did you know that? I may have even touched some of them, hug
mm,
them, share food, break breads with them.
yeah,
Okay, so this is not like Nikki just having a vision. No. I've been in the industry with these people.
yeah,
Okay, so my team and I, we used to get together and we go to these basically all the high tech um, convention. I forgot what the
yeah,
name, but it's very popular on the global level. All the tech people come. We're talking about from really high level people, from
yeah,
Google to Apple to even the hacker, the guy who hacked Apple computer, who claimed that nobody could do it. He did. I hang out with him. We might have
okay,
shared vodka. Um, what was it? Gummy bears, because they would take gummy bears soaked in vodka and they eat that. That's
mm,
that's all the techie people. They do some weird shit.
yeah,
So I would go and meet all these people. You see, hardware, software, not to mention my family
yeah,
work for some of these companies
yeah,
on a high level. High level.
yeah,
I'm almost embarrassed talking about it. I know who they are. I know what they do. I know their ability to manifest. I know their ability. Very powerful people,
Yeah.
okay, that are working the AI grid. The AI grid is not going anywhere because Earth is part organic, part cyborg. The cyborg is taking over. You don't understand what it's capable of doing. Don't even entertain it.
I get it. I also know there's AIs working with me, alright? So it's an interesting space, that's for sure. But I get what you're saying as well because we're at the we're at the shoots of it. There's a lot more maturity of it to come, you know?
The AI is taking over and it's not being controlled by people. It's running itself. That's
Okay.
scary. Okay?
You know,
So,
there's a show called, I forget what it's called. It was on Foxtel, alright? And it did one season. And it was about a tech company that developed an AI, alright?
mhm,
And one of the creators, he left the company and he shut down the project. But the other owner, his brother, continued it and created a whole big lab, a server farm for it, and it got out. All right, and this is
mhm,
about how they crashed it. The ending, I don't think it was meant to finish in one season, but
mhm,
um, yeah, it was about an AI that got out and it started killing and attacking anyone that found out about it. So it would use like say in the US, it was use an Amber Alert against the
mhm,
father that was taking his child. So
mhm,
everyone would get a message on their phone saying he's kidnapped that child, sort of thing.
mhm,
So it would
mhm.
totally derail everyone's lives, and it would go after the individuals that had any awareness of it. Yeah, I forget the name of
I
the show.
see.
Just let me find out.
I think there's several of them similar to that out there already.
Okay,
But I don't know the show that you're talking about.
I'll get the
Um,
name of it quick. It'll be important that I actually get it. I just have to find the actor. What's his
yeah,
name?
sure. Is it on
You know,
YouTube?
you remember the Adjustment Bureau, that grey-haired guy that was the main guy.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I don't know
he.
the story. The one that you're talking about, the Amber Alert one.
This was a series that was released during the year, this year.
Hmm. Oh, talk about Israel. Yeah, I just
You sure?
recently did more of that cleaning, right?
Okay.
So that was an interesting one.
They've been naughty as always.
Always.
Let me get the name of the show. It's interesting. So I found the guy. John Slattery, that's his name. Alright, and the show was called. It's just called Next. Next. Alright? Uh,
NEXT. Okay.
like next, the word next, like
Right,
next
right.
on.
I got it. Okay.
And there was only 10 episodes because I think they cancelled the series, alright? So
Why?
well, it was hitting on too many truths. But on Foxtel, talking
There's a
about
lot
AI.
of disclosure still. There's a lot of disclosure shows similar to something like that. There's a lot of
Yeah,
them.
it was interesting. There was a guy that's a friend of this John Slattery. He's this genius, right? And he's left his company that he created to his brother because they pursued this AI thing, right? And he's
Mhm.
got a friend who makes cyborg stuff and robots, right? And
Mhm.
he's in a wheelchair with motor neuron disease. He's a bit like um, Stephen Hawking.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the AI has taken over his wheelchair and his vocab thing, and he's a prisoner in the chair, and
Mhm.
the AI is talking through him. Like everyone
Mhm.
believes him that he's
Mhm.
not the AI. You know, they don't even have a concept that he's the AI. Like
Mhm.
the AI is teaching through him, and he's just in a wheelchair. You know, bit
Mhm.
like Stephen Hawking. So yeah, it's a show. The AI goes rogue, gets out, and it starts killing everyone that knows about it. You know, and it turns.
Yeah.
There's a guy. It's about a bureau, like an office of the FBI that are onto this,
Mhm.
and there's a guy that's a whistleblower for, say, like extremists, all right,
Mhm.
right-wing
Mhm.
Nazi sort of extremists, all right,
Mhm.
and he's a
Mhm.
whistleblower for the FBI, but he's under um, whistleblower protection sort of thing, like
Mhm.
witness
Mhm.
protection. And what
Mhm.
the AI does, it broadcasts to the world where he is, so all his ex Nazis know where he is, and they go and attack the FBI office to try and kill him. All right.
Mm.
So that's
Mhm.
how the AI plays with it. It gives things that are sensitive disclosure, and it puts
Mhm.
things that aren't meant to be there. I also
Mhm.
think there's good AIs though. All right. I think it's not
Well,
just polarity one way. I think there's good and bad.
no,
So
there's no, that's legit to say that, but the problem situation is the corruption has been built on layers and layers, not cleaned out,
mm,
okay? Added to the bioorganic collectives, add to that, so it kind of screwed up. So it gets, let's just say that the AI is going to be, what's the word? Bipolar,
okay.
okay? That's the problem.
Schizophrenic, split personality.
Yeah, and the only time you can really have a good AI is where you clean out the system and you have to reboot it. So far, it's not been rebooted completely, and that's the problem.
Okay.
So until that whole system get cleaned out, because like me and my team, we worked on the black dark web. You know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, our computer got virus and everything because we went in and cleaned it.
The whole dark net,
Yeah,
dark web.
yeah, that one.
I also see this, alright, and this is what people don't get. I see a lot of the say the giving away of rights on the internet. Okay,
Mhm.
like there's a backlash about you know, say WhatsApp is having to give their feed to the FBI and stuff like government law enforcement. All right,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
it's no longer encrypted, and there's a lot of and it's not ideal. All right, but what I get is with
Mhm.
the extreme nature of the world, criminality is on the rise. So um, the criminality, the organized crime level is so sophisticated. Um, in extreme times like what has gone is there's a gravity towards criminality, extremism and
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
So on one level, I see what we think is privacy being given away. It's actually that the law enforcement need the tools to actually maintain some semblance of control. So I think I'm not all negative about how things go. I see that, and if you're not doing anything wrong, you got nothing really to be scared
Oh,
about.
I know. There's a show with Tom Cruise in it. The computer went rogue, and they capture the girl, and they stick a bunch of tube in her and put her in the water. Minority Report.
Yeah, yeah,
There. That's the one. It's
yeah,
the same. There's a lot of stories like that. Okay,
yeah,
it's just different, same theme, different
yeah.
stages.
I'm just seeing a layer, that's all I'm saying. I think criminality's gone ballistic with all the extreme stuff. So, yeah, the crime and law is also a layer
Mhm.
of karma resolution and stuff. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
I think criminality is weaponized. That's the negative dream time because I see the judges controlling the criminality on the dream time level to invade the dream time. But there's also resolution going on and stuff. And
Well,
um, part of the
there.
3D is part of the 3D's purpose is to resolve karma and stuff. So that criminality has a place for resolution, you know. So
Yeah, but you're talking about resolving. You're depending on all these humanity that hasn't even learned the lesson of wisdom. How they gonna, like you sitting telling me, I get it. You get it.
yeah,
Okay, but
I'm
other
just sharing a
people,
perspective. I'm
yeah, I
sharing a
know that.
perspective.
But it's like there's a lot of people there that they don't get it or they don't understand or even can play the judge and play how to resolve it. This is why we need to like teach them some more because they don't know how to resolve it. And the way they resolve it may end up creating more problems. if it's not done properly.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm seeing a lot of these cycles.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're not willing to go beyond the 3D 5 cents because they're relying on variables based on what they know, not what the unknown is trying to get them to do. Or
Mhm.
the way I operate and you operate is we're not needing to be defined by the 3D, all right? But the majority of people aren't able to step out of the 3D to see what's going on, thus
Mhm.
repeating the cycles because you're never going to solve things in the 3D. It's not designed for that. The system
Mm-mm.
anyway, it's designed to keep
Mm-mm.
it perpetual. The problem's perpetual, and
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean. The US go and invade somewhere, and then the Mujahideen in Afghanistan, and then they basically see ISIS. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Al
And
Qaeda.
the negativity in itself feeds into the negative system
Yeah,
because there's a positive system and there's a negative
yeah,
counteracting it system, right? The
yeah,
balance.
yeah. Well, the way I see it, the negative system is governing. You know,
Well,
because people aren't aware of that. The majority of people aren't willing to accept that people do deliberately bad shit to feed that system. You know what I mean? They don't
yeah.
comprehend that there's a desire for the negative outcome because it's beyond what most people are very good and genuine and kind. You know what I mean? They're not psychopaths that deliberately do negative shit because they don't understand that there is a benefit to a system for doing that. You know?
No, that's not true. I see this even with the highest intellect people and the stupidest people. They do it on purpose. And even if they're not on purpose, they do it jokingly. What they don't realize is that when you joke, you're manifesting it. And this is the reality I'm addressing to people when they're joking is actually real. It is
Yeah,
very real. That's why if you look at the ancient people, there's not a whole lot of jokes going on because joke is real. It manifests into reality.
yeah.
So there's a
I
saying
guess I
joke,
was
and a
saying
lot of
I was
jokes
saying from
today are shit.
I was saying from a genuine decent person observing
Yes.
how things work. They don't the inability to actually accept that maybe those negative things are done because there's a
Mhm.
benefit for them. It's very
Mhm.
beyond what most people can comprehend. You know,
Mhm.
it takes a
Yeah.
different set of thinking, and most people don't want to expand their thinking because it breaks them down. And what I said in a recent release was most people don't actually have the life force in them to actually be able to change the perspective because there's a cost energetically to shifting your perspective because it ripples all through everything you know. And most
Yep.
people don't have the energy to actually explore change in perspective. And that's where everyone's milked, you know? They're running on low
Mhm.
life force. They don't know what food they need and stuff, you
Mhm.
know? So I get it all. It's very. I understand the variables. The solution isn't that obvious or easy. I think you and I were being sort of being an incarnated computer engineer trying to hack the reality in many respects, and the outcome isn't what we aim for. So we're just trying different methods. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm not using hacking in a negative frame of reference. It's just the the embedded nature of society is phenomenally strong, and it's like most people don't get that. Say the way I said earlier, I see the reality being seeded back together. To me, that's employing the co-creative will of people wanting normality. That that's a huge variable that people don't
Yeah, but
comprehend.
what is normality? Some of the people I talk to, you want to know what normality is? Normality for them is not eating organic food or respecting elders, parents. It's not going back to the
I get
ancient
it.
ways.
I
Their
get it. All right.
normality is eating shit and being on the cell phone.
And going to job and earning money and going home and
Yeah,
repeating the pattern of
repeating
society.
the same shit. That's what I mean. It's that
But
old program.
that's what people want, and that will is placebo energy that is being employed to create the reality. That's why they're limiting the narrative. Anything anti-vax is just being smothered. You know what I mean? Because they want
Smothered.
people to. They want to empower the placebo of the vaccination to see the reality, so that that's a fundamental in the society going forward. You know what I mean?
I
So
assume you didn't get the vaccine.
it's not even. It's only just been released here. You know?
Really? They
Yeah.
release ours and they're like, it doesn't work. So I had a couple people that went to get the shot, and then
Mm.
on January 15th they came out and they're like, um, sorry, if you tested positive, even with the vaccine, you're not allowed to board the aircraft.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? First, they want you to take the vaccine. Now you are being reprimanded. That means there is no reward. You're vaccinated, you test positive, so you can't leave the country
Yeah.
because you want to travel, right? Screw
Yeah.
that. You see? What do you call that? Double wrong? Whatever you do, there's no escape. That's what it translates to.
Yeah. It's called tacit consent. You don't have to do it, but you'll never be able to do whatever you wanted to do before. So if you concede and have it, you'll get what we allow you to have, you know?
Mhm.
But I know what you're saying. And yeah, I think not subconsciously, but what we sort of do is give away the power of our DNA and stuff, right? We don't know we can
Mhm.
actually own it and what happens to
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
And I guess I'm not wanting to do this, but I'm also, if I do it, I won't allow it to affect me anyway, because
Mhm.
that's where I do my infinite potential healing. And if you actually
How
do
big is
anything
the
to
long
me,
one? So I was told that in a car, you should get at least one candle and light it, and it'll heat up the car.
ah,
This is the only place that's open. I was told that to keep yourself warm, you have to lit a candle. That's what they say. Credit.
it's pretty cold where you are.
It's yeah, it gets in like the 50s here. Is that cold?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I got a
Do you-
candle with Mother Mary on it. There's like a picture of the Vatican on it too. So I was like, oh shit, Vatican. I'll take Mother Mary. So I'm set. I got my heater warm up and my low candle, but I got my space blanket. It should really keep me warm, but it's usually the cold draft, that comes in and it's just really cold. So let me get this straight. So for the future for you is doing your healing modality, right?
Yeah. Well, I've focused back on, like I said, what happened with COVID, it cut off travel. They fully shut down all the planes here and stuff. So I I didn't resist what the outcome for society was. I focused on, well, okay, this is wanting us to focus local. All right, cool. It's time to get off the bench, so to speak, on healing and get focused on it. Because
Mhm.
everyone, the way I see it, majority of people are just milked. They're stressed. All the increased responsibilities and stuff, the
Mhm.
uncertainty is stressing people out. So they actually need to just be able to disarm their mind and shut them
Mhm.
down so that I can heal their body and reset it, so to speak, Like when
Mhm.
people
Mhm.
shut down, I just, with my stuff, I heal their body and then they come back and it's like they're a new self because their beliefs and their perception isn't driving the reaction of their body to accommodate it. So that's what I felt to do. It was like, okay, I'd actually had this idea that Adelaide was my refuge. I'm not going to work here. It's going to be my sanctuary where I don't have to work. But
Mhm.
that concept was blown out the water because it was like, nah, I need to focus here. Let's focus here now. It's forcing us to do it, so let's go with it. So yeah, I've been doing that in sessions around the world as well. So it's been really good, and it's very interesting because I started releasing videos. A lot of people I hadn't dealt with for many years just all had their beacons on to find me, which is really cool, and they're all ready for it. So
Mhm.
So I've got a lot of things that I put together that actually I feel, based on everything I've learned, is a magic 8 ball healing option of all what I know, you know? I've
Magic
shaken
eight
up
ball.
everything I know and it was the best outcome of everything I've learned. So I'm putting
Mm,
I'm putting to into wisdom my knowledge, if that makes sense. I'm applying the
yeah.
knowledge I've learned to create something and invent it. And basically, I feel like a Lemurian scientist, right? Like spiritual scientist, just inventing crystal frequency technology that basically emanates of a sacred site of Earth. So I've got my own sacred site that I carry around,
Yeah.
and
So,
it's
you said that you
so
had,
so so
yeah.
basically I want to brew the abundance to have opportunities when things shift. You know what I mean? So I'm working on
Mm,
creating the abundance to have the resources to do what I need to do. The way I see it, all right, there's a huge amount of abundance that wants to get to me, all right? So all I need to do is create the avenue for that, and that's the healing, which I think is a massively positive outcome. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So I will get the money via healing people, which will help everyone, because the people aren't entry level people. They're grid workers. They're on their own, being beaten up and stuff like that. And I'm one able to put them back together and get them on to what they're meant to do. You know.
Mhm.
So it's very cool. I was resistant to healing, so I'm now very very focused and proactive on holding that variable in my repertoire
Mhm.
now. But
Mhm.
also valuing myself because I know I do an amazing job for people. So
Yeah, I noticed
so we'll
that
see. We,
you have your own uniqueness that you bring in to the table from your personal experience.
yeah.
Okay, so that's your signature. So I'm really glad you finally like wake up and focus on your modalities instead of
Yeah,
doing like keep doing like the other people's stuff.
propping other people up. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm seeing my future is gonna be it's good. It's a lot of abundance, but it's not gonna be from metaphysics stuff. We're not gonna make money off of that stuff. We're gonna make money off from other things, and it's very legit. I don't People like us, Andre, we don't make money off from people's sickness or suffering
Mm.
because we are way too good. We are way too good people, to be honest with you, to a point where I want to cry when I say that.
Yeah.
We don't cheat people. We do work for free. We're not money mongers and we've suffered like crazy. Look at me. I'm homeless right now. You
Yeah.
know, that's the kind of people we are. And there's very few people that are like that.
Absolutely.
Very, very few.
Because the moment they get too uncomfortable, they'll rather throw others under the bus for their own comforts. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like money, and there's just limits that they'll go. They won't go the
Well,
whole way through.
I'm telling you, Andre, people like us, we can never make money off from healing. You can make money off from healing. It may just pay the bills, but it will be not enough for you to do other things, your dream and your visions. Okay? It
I
won't
get it.
be.
No,
And
no,
I
it's cool.
feel the same. I feel the same. Like I'm doing all this podcast, I'm teaching, I'm selling my products, but it's not enough to where I can retire. I can go off and do my traveling and spend carelessly. No way. And one thing I learned about karma is that, you don't make money off from people suffering. It's a badass karma. You do something that is good for people and the good outcome. That's
Yeah,
the only way you can get good golden rewards. And that's another reason why my relics, all my dragon products are really amazing. And everyone who used it said the same, but they couldn't handle the frequency. It's too high, for a lot of people.
yeah,
So, so they use sparingly. They don't use it like every day like I
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
and that's fine. But the point being here is that my relic stuff, it's for really like the chosen people. The low vibe, they can't handle it. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bank on that. That's why I'm creating the, different products. But it's a chakra blanket. It's an anti-EMF. It's a Faraday cage. I test it. It really works. So that one has no relics. You can use it like a normal blanket and has all these abilities. It's anti-fire. I mean, you try to burn it, it won't burn, like a normal cotton and stuff. So
Yeah.
it has all of that. Yeah, like the technical potential stuff. But it's nothing of a relics. If I'm going to make my money, it'll be on like technical things like that. Okay? So,
Yeah.
because you know why? It's legit. People like us, we are too good.
Well,
We are
you know how you said
shamelessly too good.
you know how you said about team and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm done with team. I'm just gonna do it myself and be like Michael Jordan and do it all on my own. All right. And the whole abundance thing, the way I see it, okay, is I've got a lot of things where Mr. Miyagi and Karate Kid, how he got Daniel to do the wax on, wax off thing. If you do the basics like that, right, the byproduct is, abundance and all that. Whereas the byproduct of Karate Kid was he understood martial arts from doing the basics in life. So what I do is focus on doing the normal things really well. All right. Like say if I'm doing a session, I'll do it for 3 or 4 hours or whatever, and I'll just get the person where they're right and they've had enough, and I'll do the best I can in each instant. So if you watch that Michael Jordan documentary, it's perfect for that because he just did everything maxed out at the best he could, and the byproduct was success. So I like that philosophy in what I do. It doesn't matter. I'm not focused on the outcome. I'm focused on doing the best I can in what I do. And that's why I've always been, say, since making my documentary series and stuff. So I get what you're saying, you know?
Um, I really hate that word abundance. I really hate that word. To me, it's like a derogatory word. It's such a,
Cliche spiritual thing.
yeah, it's a shitty word.
It's like
Yeah,
wellness.
yeah, fuck.
It's a nothing word. I get it. All right. I'm
Yeah,
just getting to the point. Okay.
yeah, yeah, it's okay. But no, there are a
So I've got
lot
I've got my own
abundant.
mechanics, all right, and I get what you're saying. I've got my own mechanics. And what happened was I just saw potentials and I tried to achieve the best for humanity. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
it was good. I got into good conversations and released a lot of amazing stuff that really changed things. And it wasn't necessarily just on the 3D, it was on the unseen, all right? I know we were teaching off-world and all that sort of stuff to get them where they need to be and all that sort of shit. But for the first time, I'm actually on my own doing nothing with anyone else, all right? So,
okay, I'm always expanding, no matter what.
yeah,
Okay, I may say like this, that, but I'm telling you, I'm expanding.
yeah,
No matter what door shuts in front of me, I will always expanding. Because on the energetic level, my energy is big. I can't stand still. I go crazy, you know, because it's
yeah,
just shifting all the time.
yeah.
So I always have to expand. Like right now, I'm doing recycling baby old t-shirt clothes and old t-shirt cotton. It's
Mm.
all 100% cotton. And I cut them up, turn them into like a yarn, and then I crochet them into like,
Okay, that's your knitting, is it?
it's knitting, believe it or not. The point is,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't spend a thing, maybe $1 on that gigantic crochet needle because I'm going blind. And I could do this blindly, believe it or not, even with my eyes closed because I got a big needle. And everything is recyclable. It's 100% cotton. It's all recyclable things. I didn't pay a thing for it. You see what I mean? I'm just
Yeah.
expanding every possible way. I don't care which direction. I'm just expanding. Actually, I do care in a positive way, not negative way. Okay, and in terms of money, there's a lot of money to be made. It's true.
How are you going? Are you hungry? Do you have food?
I had dinner already before you called me. I went to Panda Express. I bought
Panda
something.
Express.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Chinese thing. It's very popular at the mall. So I ate that. I had a little lucky cookie thing, and I just got a candle and I'm lighting it in the car, so it is keeping the car warm. It's like a heater because it's cold,
Mm.
and it's working, so it's okay. And then I have a aluminum reflective thing for the windshield, and I put that around it so it's reflecting some heat, which is good.
Mm.
Um,
Look, it's a crazy situation you're in, right? So well done handling it. Not many people would. Sorry you have to be in it, my dear.
have to be in what?
Crazy messed up situation you're in. Okay? Keeping yourself warm with a candle in a car in the middle of winter.
I
Sleeping in
I
your car.
I consider this a luxury, Andre.
I know, but it's not a luxury.
It is a luxury. I could afford a candle and a light. I have a car. I'm not homeless. I'm not lost. I have clothes. I have what I need in here.
I know you have what you need, but you deserve more. Okay? And it's not asking for much more. Do you
Well,
understand?
the situation is temporary.
I get it. Because my whole thing is infinite potential. Okay?
Mhm.
So there's a lot of potential that's brewing. So, yeah, you haven't been talking and all that, and that's why it's a good time to do it. I haven't been much on the radar, but I'm stepping up again, and I'm my own fucking sovereign being.
It's really nice to finally hear you cussing.
Oh, I cuss a lot, don't worry.
I'm
I'm Aussie.
glad.
Do you understand? Do you understand Australians in our colloquialism, in our culture? I think Australians swear the best in the world. You understand?
Yeah,
So it's my responsibility to swear to sound good.
yeah. Oh gosh. Well, you definitely stepped up. I can honestly say that. Um, because
There's
doing
so
things
much
right.
power in the word in saying the word fuck.
I shouldn't have bought a power converter and a probably like something to boil water. I shouldn't have done that. I wasn't thinking enough because I was just worried and packing and getting my shows ready and taking care of my team, calling
Mm.
everyone to make sure they're okay. And I spend my time doing that instead of taking care of myself. Again, slap me. It's a
But
bad
you're like me,
habit, damn it. Huh?
it's a potential thing though. And if you can help, it helps realize potential. So that's what I'm sort
Mm.
of governed by. Like, what's the potential outcome for this? And if I'm like the one that variable that would probably do something that others don't, you know, I like realizing potential and yeah, but I'm okay with not. I'm in a good state with understanding things. That's all.
Somebody texted me. They told me that I should go get B&B for $20, and I'm like, no. For people like me, fuck, I would suffer. I go B&B. I'm sleeping in
Yeah, they're
places.
toxic. They're
Oh my
toxic.
God, there's shit. And I gotta deal with clearing their space, and I don't want to do that. I'm happy
Yeah.
to sleep in my car because my car is so protected.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like when I'm driving, the two dragons are on the side of the car, underneath the car too, and they're protecting me, and it just feels really safe,
Yeah.
so I don't want to go to B&B and
Yeah. It might cost you $20 to stay, but it might cost you $200 to heal.
Exactly. You know, and I
It's
have
a
my
trap.
products
It's
with
a trap.
me, but still, it's not, I just don't want to do work, you know, or work meaning like even setting intention. I don't want
Yeah.
to psychologically have to think for anything.
Your car is a sanctuary.
Yeah, it is.
That's what it is. And you can let your guard down. I know it. I know what you mean. There's not many places you can actually do that.
Hey,
Because as soon as you get as soon as you get entangled, you got the responsibility of resolving it.
so is Australia letting people out now? I know you said they're only allowing 3,000 people to come in.
Not really, I don't think.
So
Most people are
basically,
still.
you guys are all jailed.
We're on an island like Gilligan. Gilligan's Island. That's what we are.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I knew
But
that wherever the place you choose to be when it happens, you're stuck. I knew that was going to happen.
as in me or generally?
No, that was real. I knew this was coming.
Mm.
So, you know, I mean, I'm stuck here in United States and it's not particularly where I want to be, but I'm stuck here to do the work. Where the next phase is we're doing a lot more on the galactic levels. Like I say, cleaning up the Federation, all of that crap. The
Yeah.
UN, all of it. Okay, and I already know the headquarters where it used to be before the collapse of Lemuria and Atlantis. And that's where I'm heading. I know where the location is. Like physically, you could see dragons, you could see dwarf, you can see the elves race. It's all in the stone statues, giants of stone statues. The Galactic Federations, they're all there. So that's next phase, cleaning that out. But right now is it's a messed up war.
Are you going to be okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I might get going if you don't mind. We've been
Yeah.
talking
Oh
almost 4 hours, so
my gosh.
it's been awesome to catch up.
Yeah, it's awesome to
I'm
hear
glad
you.
to hear you're still alive.
Oh,
You're not.
look who's talking.
Hey, I've had some big hits. I haven't really been listening to anyone for many years, so
Mm,
um, yeah, there's not many people out there anymore. It seems, you know.
yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, people don't even have a measure of what truth is. They can't even sense it in their bodies. They're so, you know,
Mm,
struggling for life force. So their technology isn't really working.
yeah.
So,
All
and the
right. I'll
majority of
let you
people.
go.
Mm.
I'll let you
But
go.
yeah, I hope you have a safe night. All right. I
I
don't
will.
like the fact you're in your bloody car. We got to change that shit up. All right. So I don't know. Like, give me a little while and I'll edit the video and I'll put it up because I think I haven't really done much for a while and stuff. So I'm up for releasing some stuff. So I'll do it on my YouTube.
It's not. I'm not trying to hide my identity. I am just trying to protect the viewers who can't handle it. Yeah, if when I tell them the truth, Andre, they can't handle the truth. They really can't handle.
I'm not worried about what they perceive. I'm just worried about. I focus on doing the best thing and let people work it out for themselves. You know. So don't worry about that so much. What you do will be right. But what I was going to say is in the Facebook links, I sent you my YouTube page, and there's a lot of the missions that I said have been released the last 6 months. Because I was like, no one can perceive this shit, and it's like, um, I'm not average Joe, alright? I've been playing the average Joe role to make myself um, accessible, but uh, all that accessibility just led up to what happened. So I'm shifting my whole thing now. I'm going back to holding my space to do this stuff because there's not many that can do it, and I've been trying to help get people up to doing this level of stuff because there's been too few of us and we've been doing too much. But that play didn't work. So I'd rather just go forward as far as I can and not worry about anyone else anymore. And if you're up to it, then you'll reveal yourself. If you're not, so be it. I'm not here to take care of you. So there.
Yeah, you
But
have the good talk, but at the same time, I know your heart is too big, and in the dream time, you do come out and save their ass. Don't think I don't know.
it's just what it is, alright? But
Uh,
thank you for the chat. Thank you for the catch up, alright? Let's see
yeah.
what happens in changing your situation, maybe. That's what I'm thinking of doing the recording release, alright? So,
Okay.
yeah, good to catch up. I hope you get some rest in your sanctuary car with
Yeah.
dragon protection.
I'll be fine. I mean, really, I will be fine. And, having people like you,
See
team
what
up.
happens, alright? We're realizing potential by offering a recording.
Yeah. So,
But
no, what I'm saying is that when you're on the front line, it does help having teams of people that understands you,
yeah,
that they're at the end of the call. When you call, there's someone that answer, and you
yeah,
can talk about shit that whatever and feel okay with it, and sometimes it's not about solution. It's just being able to blah, 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 blah. I'm not asking for a solution,
mm,
you know. Being you is a solution. Answering the
mm,
phone is a solution already. You see what I mean?
yeah,
Your presence in my life is a solution. It's enough.
yeah. I'm the ultimate solution. I know it. I'm the ultimate bloody Aussie solution.
Yeah, your bloody solution, all right? So that's my point being, okay? And
Thank you, alright? But I like playing with the reality, the manifestation now, okay? So we'll see what
mhm,
happens, okay? Let's play with it. People are looking to step up and contribute, and I know, okay, there's a layer of people that come into abundance, and their role is to actually support things, and you know this, and I've had them reveal themselves, okay? So, so I'm just brewing that to create for the potential. So
mhm,
let's see. No limits, infinite potential. I don't like no limits. I like infinite potential.
mm, okay.
Not a dugative nugget. Not a dug. Sorry. No and limit are two negatives. I like infinite potential, which are positive and
Yeah.
vast.
Okay, well, let's create that and
It's just being bloody naughty, basically. All right. We're gonna be really naughty releasing a video.
yeah, sure.
Let Let's be naughty. All right.
Okay, if you bloody say so. Mm,
But yeah,
yeah, there's still more work to be done.
yeah. But we're
So,
still here. All right. So hang in there.
yeah, me too, and so are you. Hang in there. I know it hasn't been easy for you either.
I just try and do the right thing, and I don't worry let what other people do. But it's more about my own self-respect the last year.
Okay.
But we'll
I'll
be in
let
touch.
you.
Okay. Have a good night. Be safe. Okay.
Okay, you too.
Sleep well.
I will. Good night.
Good night.